continuation of our lessons in leadership series. We are talking to C. Balagopal, former founder and former CEO of Terumo Pempol, one of the world's largest manufacturers of blood bag systems. So tell us, Bala, did you ever come across any situations in which democratization proved to be a bit of a problem?
Well, Praveen, let me actually confess, I can't say that we made much progress in Terumo Penpol of pushing democratization of decision making right down to the shop floor, etc. But I think by and large we were a fairly open organization, and we provided various things like the works committee, the canteen committee, welfare committees, which were all operated, were all very seriously taken by management and the trade unions. And so they were, we tried to make it all work as well as possible. We did not take it up to the level of having worker representatives in the board or any such. We did not yet go to that stage, because I don't think my fellow investors who are from the financial institutions and later from a Japanese multinational may not have been very enthusiastic about that idea. But the point was that we tried to keep as consultative an approach as possible in running the enterprise. Even our wage settlements were long-term settlements, and we did settlements which usually lasted for about 4 years. And which were negotiated and documented, and they were tough negotiations. We used to have dozens of meetings, and mostly it used to also end up with sometimes it ended up with the tripartite meetings with the labor department also present, because of some problems which were not getting resolved. But that's precisely, the labor department is there as a dispute resolution mechanism. It is not considered to be a disgrace or anything if the labor officer comes and sits in. That's the job of the labor officer. And actually Kerala, the very fact that many disputes many issues which happen within companies are resolved through the good offices of the district labor officer is testimony to the fact that we have a very active and successfully working dispute resolution mechanism in Kerala, which is not the case in most of the in most of the other states. So here, I think, a lot of expertise has been developed by the labor officials in Kerala, which really helps, especially MSMEs, which cannot afford many staff and all that to keep studying all the statutes and this and that. So, however, to come to the negative side of what what can work against democratization of the workplace and involving trade unions in decision making is the multiplicity of trade unions which happens. So even if you take one company with 400, 500 employees, and if they have 3 unions and 4 unions, I don't think that's good for. I think we should, I think this thing about having non-affiliated, non-political unions, number one, is very good. Number two, we should have 1 union per enterprise. And, there should be some minimum qualification that that union, in order to be able to speak for the workers, should have a membership which accounts for at least 30% or 40% of the workforce. And no other union should be recognized. So, I mean, there are various ways in which to deal with that problem. So the problem in Kerala, I would say, and in India, is multiplicity of trade unions makes it difficult, because then who will you talk to? Who will you invite? Every time you can, if you have 4 unions, in every committee, you will have 4 representatives of the workers. Now, that would be an intolerable situation for management, where, it's like every time there'll be 4 votes on the workers' side, which means you'll have to have an unwieldy number of people coming in from the management side. So that brings in a sort of unnecessary complication into what is otherwise a well-meant idea. So that is the one downside which I can see in and what was there in my experience of trying to democratize workplaces.
You're probably aware that the new labor legislation actually does not allow members in the union that are not employees of the company. So that is perhaps a step that many people would approve of.
Yeah, I mean, that has plus points and negative points. I mean, the only negative which I can think of is that, in the early stages, of course, it's not a negative because workers should really study the statutes which govern their working conditions. At least their leadership should become familiar with these things, and they shouldn't depend on outside expertise to be able to understand what are their rights. These are things which they should know about. So I think that's a welcome development.
Thank you, Bala.